The Quarren fishermen who told Din Djarin they would take him to the other Mandalorians didn't necessarily lie. As they feed the giant watermouth, they shove the child Grogu into the waterhole as well. Din jumps in to rescue the child, but the Quarren then close the barred trapdoor behind him, poking and prodding at the Mandalorian as he tries to hold himself up for air. Blaster shots are heard, and the result is a lot of dead Quarren. Then, the cage door opens, and a hand reaches out to Din to pull him up to safety. The hand of Bo-Katan Kryze. She pulls him up as her associate Casca Reeves jumps into the water to retrieve Grogu from the giant watermouth. Bo-Katan was not written in the story of The Mandalorian for fan service, though. She has a higher meaning and importance to the character of Din Djarin, or Mando if you prefer. Today, on Star Wars Fanatic. Bo-Katan Kryze. She's had a lengthy history in the Star Wars franchise as a Mandalorian anti-hero. When we first see her, she is a follower of Death Watch. Their objective was to overthrow the pacifist government led by her own sister, Duchess Satine Kryze. When Darth Maul took over the organization and Mandalore, Bo-Katan fled. Later, she enlists the help of Ahsoka Tano and an element of Anakin Skywalker's 501st Legion in order to rid Mandalore of Darth Maul and his Mandalorian Super Commando followers. It worked, and Mandalore was left under Republic occupation, then later Imperial occupation because of the Act. When we see her again in Star Wars Rebels, Sabine Wren gives her the Darksaber, declaring Bo-Katan the leader of the Mandalorian people. They rid Mandalore of Garth Saxon's Super Commandos, who were loyal to Maul at one point. Then the Empire, after Maul, was defeated. That brings us to her appearance in The Mandalorian, where she rescues Din Djarin on the fishing vessel and baby Grogu from the giant toothy watermouth. We've seen how important she had become to the Mandalorian people in the past. She could even be seen as the Mandalore, the Liberator, for a short time after Maul's defeat. But why is she so important to Din Djarin? Well, to explain it all, I'll have to go back to Mando's childhood. When Din Djarin's planet was attacked by Separatists during the Clone Wars, his parents placed him in a small bunker to keep him safe. Shortly after, a man opened the door to rescue him. He held out his hand for the young boy to take, so he could be pulled to safety. The man saving the child turned out to be a Mandalorian. He taught Din Djarin in the ways of the Mandalore and what it means to follow a creed and live as a Mandalorian. The man saved Din, not just from Separatist battle droids, but from a life as an orphan. A life that may have led him to crime, imprisonment, or an early grave. The Mandalorian gave Din Djarin purpose, and Din was ever grateful for it. He often spoke of being a foundling and how honored he was to be a part of the Mandalorian tribes. He protected his clan and covert. He followed their creed and their rules. He even denounced the others for not following the same creed as he did. Ah, a true Mandalorian. All grown up and denouncing other Mandalorians. Look at him. That brings us to the fishing boat. The Quarren promised to take Din Djarin to other Mandalorians. The reason is that he needed to find other coverts in order to track down a Jedi to return the child Grogu. Instead, the Quarren attempted to kill Mando and his own foundling. At first, I saw that deception as a lie, but the more I think about it, it wasn't a lie at all. The Quarren did take Mando to see other Mandalorians. It wasn't in the way Din Djarin had expected, or us for that matter, but the end result was the same. He got to meet other Mandalorians. It just wasn't in the way he thought the Quarren meant, and it didn't end well for the fishing captain anyway. Anyways, I derailed a little bit, sorry about that. When Bo-Katan shows up, she and her two counterparts take the Quarren out and save Mando and Grogu from a watery death. When the cage door opens, Bo-Katan reaches her hand out to pull Din Djarin to safety. The same as the Mandalorian from Din's childhood. But the importance of this scene, mirroring that from his childhood, is crucial to the character of Din Djarin. When he was a child, he was pulled to safety by a man reaching his hand out. That man took care of Din. He saved him, He raised him, he gave him purpose, and he taught him how to survive on his own and how to be strong. Sure, he had a clan, but he could go out into the galaxy as a bounty hunter and survive. So when he saw Bo-Katan reach out her hand to save him, it brought back that feeling of safety and security. He could trust her immediately, and he did, at first. That is, until she took her helmet off. That was enough for him to not trust her, but how she responded to his reaction was less than regal. She told him that his clan was a bunch of religious zealots and extremists. Hey, there you go, Bo-Katan. Try to get his trust and his help by insulting the people who saved him and raised him. Alright, sorry, I had to add that. Anyway, she then deceived him after he agreed to help her. She changed the terms of the agreement. Instead of just taking the weapons from the Imperial cargo ship, she decided to take the whole ship and wouldn't give Mando the information she promised him until he helped. She also showed her intentions all along as wanting to win the Darksaber back from Moff Gideon, so she could lead the Mandalorian people again. Din Djarin should have been wondering why he should help someone get their power back after they lost it. He should have wondered if that loss made her fit to lead at all, especially since Mandalorians were killed during her time as leader. A lot of Mandalorians. Okay, so we have the Mandalorian from Din's childhood reaching his hand out to pull Din to safety. He raised him, cared for him, trained him, and made him strong. Then we have Bo-Katan, or Bo-Karen if you prefer, reaching her hand out to pull Din Djarin to safety. From the same viewpoint, I might add. And she deceived him and showed she was an ineffective leader. When she first reached her hand out, it reminded him of the man who saved him. Don't get me wrong, Din doesn't see her as a villain, just questionable, with questionable motives. He doesn't care to rule and would give the Darksaber to her if he could. But now that she has deceived him and insulted his family, and shown she had an ulterior motive anyway for saving him, do you think it has changed how he would accept a hand, pulling him to safety moving forward? Let me know in the comments below. I feel like the Mandalorian that rescued him as a child and Bo-Katan Kryze are two sides of the same Mandalorian currency. They show how one was selfless and the other had selfish intentions. But if you don't agree with that, let me know. I'd love to hear what you have to say. At this time, I'd like to give a big shout out to channel members LFC and Star Wars Nut, Colt, Eli Mark, Ethan Frowen, Mike Hepker, and Curtis Thompson. Thank you all so much. Every bit of proceeds made from the memberships go right back into making this the best Star Wars channel around. If you would like to become a channel member, go ahead and click that join button below. And if you're new to the channel, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications to stay up to date on my Star Wars theories, Mandalorian lore, and Boba Fett love. Also hit the thumbs up to show your appreciation for the hard work I put into each video, and share the video with a friend. Let's see if we can get this one over 1,000 views. Thank you for watching, and remember, this is the way, the only way.